Hey guys, so for today's video, we're going to go through again what we're doing in class. So far, you have read chapters 1 through 4 in Touching Spirit Bear. Throughout the novel, you kind of see how angry Cole is. You know, his character, he gets very defensive. He doesn't think he's wrong. He thinks everybody is against him. You also notice that Garvey, all but one time in the novel, tends to try and stay very positive around Cole and try to make him see the best of things. The only time you see him be negative towards Cole is when he calls him chump instead of champ, after the whole cake incident. Then where it's left off right now, you're going to pick up reading chapters 5 and 6. The beginning of chapter 5, Cole is still swimming to the next island. You're going to find out what happens. You're also going to read more about the circle meetings and how those are going with Cole and his parents and Peter and Peter's parents and the lawyers, and even some of the community members. You're going to see some different views on Cole. But again, it's very evident how positive Garvey is and how much he truly wants the best for Cole, even though Cole doesn't treat him very well. Throughout the novel, you also witness that the way it is written is through flashback style. One of the benefits of this is that you get to know all the background on Cole, even though he currently is on the island in the book. I know some students in class were getting a little confused with that, so just make sure when you're reading that you're aware of whether he is having a flashback or if it's actually taking place. Anything on the island is what's actually taking place at that current time. The flashback is about how he ended up getting to the island and what he did to do that and the different steps along the way. After you read chapters 5 and 6, you're going to open the Touching Spirit Bear Journal, topic number 2. For this, you need to at least answer this in a paragraph. So the question is, what makes you angry? Brainstorm the things that make you angry and write them all out. Why did these things get to you so much? What could you do to help counteract your anger about them? Do you feel your anger is justified? Why or why not? I can tell you, for example, something that when I was in high school that made me super, super angry was when after a basketball game, I would get in the car with my mom and dad, and my dad would try to tell me everything that I needed to improve on or do differently. And coming from my dad, who had been a coach for years and years, he probably knew what he was talking about. However, since it was my dad, I didn't want to accept the advice he was giving me. And it made me so angry. All I wanted was for him to just compliment me and tell me what I did right. And as a teenage girl, you know, sometimes even if he did compliment me, it was covered up by all the negative comments, even though they probably weren't as negative as I thought they were. So that's one thing when I was younger that would make me angry. However, I don't play sports anymore, but as I got older and started playing college basketball, our relationship changed and it was a much more open conversation. It didn't make me angry anymore. But that's just kind of an example of what I'm expecting you to do, is tell me what makes you angry and tell me why it got to you so much. If there's any way you could change that. In class, I know some people wrote about their siblings making them angry. Some people wrote about people that wouldn't stop talking, things like that. So the list can go on and on. This assignment is on Teams under Touching Spirit Bear Journal number 2. Make sure you answer in a paragraph and you turn it back into Teams. The next assignment you will do then is the Touching Spirit Bear Cole's Journal. This is also on Teams. It is ready for you to work on it. So what you're going to do, it says, for this activity, you need to really understand the character of Cole Matthews as he is at the end of the chapter 6. You will be creating a journal entry written from Cole's perspective. In order to do this, you have to get inside of his head and try to see things from his point of view. Think about how he feels about Peter, his own parents, Garvey, and the circle justice process, and what he plans to do in the future. You will be writing as if you are Cole. This means that you will have to use the first person point of view. Okay, so you are Cole. So you're writing using I. Meaning Cole. The directions. It says, pretend that you are Cole. Write a journal entry that reflects on the week that Cole just had, which includes him going through the last circle meeting, arriving at the island and attempting to escape. Some of the questions that I expect you to answer. How would Cole view each of these events? Would he accept responsibility? Would he blame others? Would he be angry with anyone or for anything that was said or done? What is he thinking, feeling, and doing? Be creative, but stay true to the character of Cole Matthews. The more details, the better. Remember, when you answer this, you're not saying Cole viewed each of these events, yada, yada, yada. You're saying I viewed each of these events because you are Cole Matthews in this journal. The journal entry needs to be at least 2 paragraphs. 2 paragraphs would consist of 5 to 8 sentences. Make sure you're using evidence from the story to support your thoughts. Don't just put random things down if they're not from the book. I don't expect you to have direct quotes. However, I do want you to reference things that did happen. After that, I want you to turn this in. That is it for today. What I will say, though, a quick reminder that your next AR test should be a nonfiction book, and it is due next Wednesday. You need to have a nonfiction book due next Wednesday. Reminder, you need to send me a picture of the score, and you must put it on your AR test log under literature on Teams. If these are not done, it goes in as a 0 in the grade book. Please make sure you do this because it is a 50-point assignment. So getting a 0 out of 50 can really, really hurt your grade. Hope things are going well for you guys. And that's today's lesson.